our roundtable moderators and esteemed panel experts kindly proceeding in the agenda room. So thank you so much. I request you to be seated. Congratulations to all the winners. And the Roundtable 1 theme today is Well-being, Mental Health and Student Agency, Creating Emotionally Intelligent, Resilient and Self-Aware Learners.
So before I proceed, I would like all of you to introduce yourself and tell us what you think of this topic and anything which you would like to tell us. Sir.
Hi, I'm Abhimanyu Basu. I head Vivanta.
A little louder so that all of us.
You can use the mic, sir.
All of us can hear.
I thought I had a
Teacher's voice.
teacher's voice.
I've seen one of his interviews, so soft.
Yeah.
So that's why I told you.
So I head Vivanta School and our Mallika Preman School, so 3 campuses. And I've been there over 2 decades, in education for about 3 decades now. And my life started all around in international schools. I think well-being is more important than at any point of time in schools as of today. And I think the reason it is most important is that we are probably understanding that it cannot be treated as a separate piecemeal.
Yes.
It has to be connected. And I think, so for the context that where I come from, the schools where I come from, I think well-being is one of the core elements. So we say teaching and learning, well-being, and the whole aspect of having joy in what we do, or being a happy school. Those are the 3 critical factors. That's part of the curriculum model. I personally believe that you cannot, you cannot learn unless the mind is not working. And just a counselor-driven approach, what I think is a piecemeal approach of dealing with the problem, is not the way of doing it. So I think having a whole school approach where every teacher has a role, because I think if you're a teacher and if you're in the classroom, you would know which child is not correct. And you need to find out why. I believe that there isn't any child who doesn't want to do well for themselves. And there is a reason why they cannot connect. And I think as long as every teacher can get to the bottom of it, we won't have a well-being issue in the school. I think and schools can be of 2 different types, right? So you have the junior school and then you have the secondary school. In junior school, there is a concept of mother teacher where you have people who are much more connected to what's happening. I think in secondary school, teachers feel that their job is over once they come and teach in the classroom. And they feel that their main role is to come and deliver and be out of it. And I think that needs to change. If that changes, things will change.
So basically, we need to change the narrative of how we look at
how well-being is treated in schools, point number 1, and how it is comprehensively dealt with rather than only by counselors or by heads or by somebody else. I think that's a different approach.
Very well said, Mr. Basu. Thank you so much. May I request?
I'm Ranjana Shahi. I'm from DPS Halvani. I was 15 years in Delhi, and in 2018 I went back to some place near my hometown, which is Nainital basically. So I'm the founder principal there. And I've had a mix of both Delhi and a small city. Halvani is a very small town, slowly gaining importance as a gateway of Kumar. So I have a very diverse approach here. When I looked at the topic, I feel yes, as Sir said, as Mr. Basu, you said, they are all interconnected. It's quite true. Because when I look at the well-being or we're talking about mental health, it's very, very important. And I have had that opportunity to compare that what I was seeing in Delhi with the students and what I'm seeing in Halvani. they are not informed. They are not the parents, that acceptance is not there. So it becomes a dual challenge for me then. But we've been trying to explain the same thing, that mental health. There's a common word used as a child has gone into depression just because he did not qualify for a competition or something. And I'm left explaining to them that no, it's not depression. It's something else altogether. So that explaining the basic concept of mental health and what is depression and what is that the child is feeling a little lost about because he missed out on an opportunity is a very difficult task which I face. When I talk about the well-being, yes, it's very, very important. And what I really liked in this whole episode was the student agency, because unless and until we give them a voice, and that is something where I feel if the child understands accountability, child understands the meaning of responsibility, the child understands that yes, you're being given a voice, it's a privilege, it's a huge responsibility, and you have to take it accordingly, not just that you've got the mic to speak whatever you want to. So I've tried this with the student council there, that once the student council is set up, I ask them to look at various aspects of the school, like the canteen, the sports activities, or the co-curricular activities, and say, you want to give your opinion about it, tell me how you would do it, or some events where we tell the students that you are going to be looking into the management of it. So giving them that kind of opportunity, I've seen some of them have really taken over those leadership roles. And when it talks about well-being in mental health, I think they can be a biggest ambassador.
Yeah, definitely. They can be the change makers.
And one thing, ma'am, I would like to share, because you've said personal anecdotes. So what we've done is the parents, the school itself, the staff, and the students. We do a yearly, it's known as Samvad, where we call panelists, but we also have all these bodies there, and we discuss upon various issues. So there, a student also has an opportunity to speak in front of the parents, and the parents are also able to put in their voices. We do have experts, but that has really helped. And that is something, being in Delhi, it helped me to sort of take it forward. So I think that is something which I would like to share for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, Meena, from the stalwart, we have to
Good
get
morning
more.
to you all. Yes, I've been in this profession for the last 45 years. I don't know how time flies. I still feel I'm a learner. There is so much to learn from your teachers, from your students and parents. So I feel I'm still a learner. See now, what about the mental well-being? I would like to say, I would not use big jargon and what we should be doing and all that, and what we are doing. I would just cite one or two examples that will give us a clear picture. What is the mental well-being of the children right now? Because through the years, I have seen the change in the psyche of the children in the last 1 years. See, I would give you a very simple example that a couple of days back, one of the child was with me inside the elevator in the school, and he just a class 5 child with twinkling eyes. He looks at me and he says, "Ma'am, what's your age? Ma'am, should I ask you one question?" I said, "Yes." He just looked at me and he said, "What's your age?" I just looked at him. I thought I have heard it right. He's asking my age. So I just looked at him and smiled. I said, "You guess." So he told me that, "Ma'am, you have retired as a principal. You must have crossed 60. Wow. So I was amazed, I was happy. And when I shared with the children, with my teachers, I said that where you give this kind of freedom to your children, where they can ask anyone, any question. That is what kind of environment we look for in the school. Another example I will give you, that a couple of years back, when I was the principal, I joined a state board school. I came to Calcutta, and so first school that I joined was state board school. And there was a child who was very bright, very promising, and during that time, a child I would say it's around 25 years back, a child who has multifaceted personality, good at academic, good debater and all that, writes very well, good sketcher. So I just called both the parents for doctor, and one day I called both the parents. So my teacher is asking, why are you calling the parents of this child? I said, because I want to speak to the parent. But the child is doing so well. What's the need to call the parent? I said, no, I would like to speak to the parent. So both the parents sitting outside my room, writing names and all that, while the principal has called. So they entered my room. I said, okay, please take a seat. And then I still remember the name of that child. So I said, Prabhal is doing so well. We are so proud of him and all. So they looked at me and said, but why we have been called? I said, this is the reason you have been called, to appreciate your child. So what I want to say is that still there is a kind of in the parents' mind. This is a kind of perception that if we are called the school, it's for complaining. It's not to appreciate the child. So I would say that appreciation goes a long way. We have to see whether we are giving that kind of conducive environment to the children where they feel happy. And if the environment is happy, if everyone is happy, then you will see that you have to work less on the mental well-being of the children. And I would give chance to someone else before
Very true, ma'am.
more points come to my mind. Thank you.
Very important to have fearlessness in your students. They should not fear anybody, because all problems starts when they start fearing people. So that is the generation which is as it is born,
And I would say-
but we need to support them in that.
But some teachers said, oh,
Mindfulness,
Some teachers don't know
Yes.
how you could ask.
Yes.
But I'm very happy that you
Exactly.
could ask me that.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And very well said. Happiness is the main goal. If it is there, then there is no need to discuss anything. So thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, it was my privilege and I'm very feeling proud sitting in this house and sharing this chair with all whom I have just heard. I'm Rajesh Soni. I'm at my college. It's my 21st year. The college is celebrating its 150 years of excellence. So, yes, when we talk about well-being, mental health, the words like depression, stress. As a physics teacher by core, I know depression. All the stress, both are somewhere related to pressure.
Yes.
That is force upon the right. So we were hearing in that sense, but now it has become a very common talk, not only with the parents or the staff, but even the kids. Kids comes and say, "Sir, I'm feeling depressed." He actually learned this kind of terminology, being in the surrounding. Now, because I am here in the junior school now, which are the grades 4, 5, and 6. So looking at that age very closely now, because I was 18 years in the senior school, being the junior of physics earlier, I have seen the well-being in terms of the subject. Then going to become the housemaster, I saw it from a different perspective as a festival. Now, as a headmaster there, my thoughts have actually has enhanced. There's another way, more things to be involved. But the main thing which was everywhere throughout my journey, if you have time to listen, that will solve so many. The kids just want to get heard. Sometimes to want to listen also. They need somebody around. And being the boarding school, it's become our big task 24/7. To be present in front of them in any form. Of course, counselors are the word. Earlier it was only the career counselor which used to. But yes, the education bodies, CBSE, and all the put the things in place, and now we have the behavioral counselor, career counselor. We need the people who also have to deal on the field of sports. So we have the sports side of it. We have the people who are taking care of the children with special needs. So everywhere there is a big well-being team which is formed, which are the ones which are helping. But at the end, one very important thing which principal is also stating that all teachers are counselors. But yes, more precisely, I must decide on all trained teachers are counselors. So that's going on now, and we are very happy that we have a happy atmosphere have the surrounding that bring the trust of the student in their people who are talking to them, making them to understand what is expected from them, make them to learn even from their failures. This is very important to avoid getting into so-called depression and stress. And one thing which I just want to add on an anecdote, because very recently a young kid of class 4 who joined us in and there were so many complaints coming out from the classroom, from the teachers about his behavior and all. So when we, a little investigation, we found yes, the kid when in his family, there's a big age gap between his elder sister and him. That is around 16 years, and that's why he's Sona Bacha of his family. Now he is here. He wants to stay in the same lifestyle, but unaware of the fact that yes, there are people of similar kind of life. So he was not behaving well, not performing well, I must say. And he was also looking forward for the reason, the purpose of his existence in that whole surrounding. And all of a sudden, one day I got this opportunity when I found that that boy is actually the youngest boy of the school. And by default, the youngest boy becomes the chief guest of the Independence Day celebration. And the whole school, the whole teacher community has seen that change from 16th of August. And he was surprised. Will I able to walk to the principal? Will I be that child which will come and everybody will rise for me? And I was keep on answering his question. But I'm telling you about most of the kids, they have their identity crisis, and that's why go into this sense of where we actually need to do the counseling and things. But sometimes things happen by their own. Thus, we need to be vigilant and again to devote more time.
Very important that we listen to them and we give them an environment, like Ma'am said, give an environment where they can ask questions, give an environment where we listen to them, and if they know that yes, there's somebody listening to them, they don't have this pressure factor there. What you mentioned. Yes, ma'am.
Can I speak without the mic?
Sure.
Good afternoon. Sorry, I have missed the rest. There was a clash with the events downstairs. I think, sir, they were looking for you downstairs. They were announcing your name on the stage. So, therefore, they asked me to wait, and I have missed this.
Just introduce yourself and tell us what you feel about it.
Thank you. My name is Mallika Preman, director at Cfore School, Baroda, Gujarat. Pleasure to be here with all of you. I was intimidated by all the big names which I read on the panelists' names, but this is a topic which is very close to my heart. I am a teacher, an educator, and a mother, and I think we deal with children having stresses, pressures, all of us do. And I don't think there are any easy answers to it, but just like to share here some very small things which we have been doing at our school, which perhaps will make some impact in the years to come. I think it starts with, yes, all the kids are on their screens and are spending a lot of time in imitating lives which are not real, and we forget about some very basic roots from where we started. We have introduced the value of the year concept, and we don't want it to just be a fancy thing. We started with very basic. First of all, our team of health and coordinators sits at the annual meet which we have together in the month. And they come up with the value which they want to translate in the school the next year. So last year we had kindness, and this year we have respect. Now the entire school comes alive with posters, quotes, images of these values, and it is taken up at every parent session when we call parents for any event at the school. Any event we have at the school starts with something around that. I'm not saying that every child will suddenly become respectful at the end of the year, but it's just something that they think about. And I feel that somewhere, someday it will come back to them. Like every classroom, when you walk in the morning, there is a quote on respect on the board. Maybe 3 children read it, maybe 13, but some impact must be there. We also felt as a school that children lack gratitude. And actually, if you have gratitude, you will become happy. That's actually sort of the source of it. So we thought about it. It's very hard to enforce it in somebody. So how do we go about it? We introduce certain books as readers in classes. Like, for example, there's a book called The Breadwinner. It's about a little 10-year-old girl in Kabul. There's another book called Ahimsa, which is set at the time of partition in India. These books have children as the protagonists and they deal with very real issues. And suddenly kids come out of this book thinking, oh my God, we have so much. Of course, exposing them, we all go for field trips to parks and trampoline, centers, but going to just very basic deaf and dumb schools, orphanages, blind schools, again, same idea leads to gratitude. I'm a sports person. I have played sports all my life, and now I trek a lot. These are two things which we've introduced into the school at a very deep level. I truly believe that resilience is built through sports because you cannot predict outcomes. You learn how to win and how to lose. You learn how to take pressure in a way which is very real, which is not manufactured or orchestrated. When you stand there, whether you are playing for your house team, your school team, your state team, you feel pressure and you learn to deal with it. It just becomes something of your everyday life. It's not something which you have to be taught to deal with exam pressure. That is there every day. And we have really tried to make sports a part of everybody's life at our school and also to connect with nature. We started, actually, Sir spoke about it downstairs, a Himalayan Trek Club. We do Himalayan treks every year at the school. We also completed a trek to the Everest Base Camp. All the kids who have trekked with us have never trekked before. They've never spent a night camping. And I feel that that connection with nature, the peace, your very soul finds peace. And you have to do it to experience it, to understand how it can change you.
It's very important that we have these outdoor activities to build resilience because that is one thing which is lacking nowadays in our students, that they are not very resilient. Once they face a failure, then it's very difficult for them to come back from that. So yes, sports is something which builds that, and wonderful job, wonderful work. Thank you so much.
Not at all. I think
You have to take, any school, you have to take core competency.
Yes.
And your
Build
curriculum
around
should
that.
revolve.
It should be built around that. Yes, ma'am.
Namaste to Mike as well. Thank you. I hope it's fine without the mic.
Yes.
So, namaste to all visionaries here, and thank you for the opportunity. And I'm Geeta, a passionate physics teacher. Was a physics teacher, now also teaching physics, and 2 decades I'm being in this field, nurturing the young minds and empowering the teachers. And I'm a part of National Center for Excellence in Bangalore, where we empower the students to be self-learners who can use their acquired values, skills, and potential to contribute back to the society. That is a very important point which we are missing in our education system. So they are all having degrees and a lot of marks and everything, but we are forgetting our ground roots, realities, and being an Indian, what are the best things we can do and we can role model for the other countries. That's what we are missing. So we are more focused on holistic education, and the topic mental well-being is something which is not an added extra period which we can give in any of the classrooms or in any school environment, where we can weave the concept of mental well-being to the daily rhythm in the school in every aspect. For example, starting from the entry, we can have even a 2 minutes downtime, a check-in time, where we can have a gratitude session in the classroom. We can have journaling, we can have moral awareness, we can many more things we can do. Even we can make the AI, the best part of the AI as a practice for quickly having a response for gratitude, troubleshooting. There are many more things we can do with AI board. So which we are currently doing in our school, even in the lunch break, short break, and children are making the best use of it. And the second practice is we can make every period, every core subjects, whether it is core scholastic or scholastic, we can connect with SEL. The social emotional learning and emotional intelligence should be highly integrated with every core subject. And it can be through storytelling, for example, it can be through dramatics, we can get empathy. Resilience we can teach through, right, the sports, co-curricular activities, and even the self-expression, self-regulation, and how to control themselves in many situations, and how to normalize the failure. And instead of celebrating the success, I think it's high time to celebrate the failure rather than success. And we should not measure the children through outcomes. We should measure their efforts. That's very important to be a continuous, comprehensive way. So, because the moment they get the failure, they immediately getting anxiety and depression and getting into unwanted things, and it's in turn creates a pressure for the teacher too. That is
So
what the
in fact,
biggest,
what we do
yeah.
in our school there, here, what we, like when a student comes, scores whatever marks. So when they say, ma'am, we have scored less, we always tell them, okay, tell us how much did you prepare?
Yeah.
So if you prepared 80 marks and you have scored a 40, that means you are at 50%. Not from 100, it's not a 40%, you are at 50%. So always measure from the preparation what you have done and see how much. That itself gives them a lot of confidence. And it takes away all the problems of this depression, anxiety. That's what we feel. That's how we go about it. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for
Thank you
sharing.
so much.
This all happens because when we start comparing.
Yes.
If I'm
Yes.
scoring 70 out of 100, I'm losing 30, but I'm gaining 70. I'm not looking at the 70, I'm looking at the 30. The reason is because somebody else has got 70.
They should be told that better your performance at the end, rather than competing
And
with
most of the
others.
time, we
compete
actually make them
with
to
yourself.
compare with them.
The previous
Where-
performance.
But I think this is all very old school in terms of 70%, 30%, etc. I think if we do not prepare children to fail,
Yes.
I think the problem is that we do not prepare children to fail.
Fail, yeah.
We do not tell them that there will be a good day, there will be a bad day. Life is about having good days and bad days. And because many of them do not play active sports, because sports is a great level, it teaches you how to bounce back. Always give examples of how quickly these IPL teams actually turn around from losing horribly to the next day. In 24 hours, they're winning in a tight sports competition. Or all of these great players. You speak about, I do not know if any of you heard Roger Federer speaking for the
Yes.
Philippines,
Yes.
where he said that he won 80% of his matches, but he only won 54% of the points. Every time he played in his entire career, every point he lost one, he won one. That is nice. How are we connecting children? Because the greatest the children are going to succeed, they will have least amount of resilience. The highest, the kids who actually succeed the most have the least resilience. Parents who want more out of their children, they actually burn the children out. I have seen multiple examples of children who are super talented being burnt out because they just press the pedal too hard. Life is a marathon, it's not a sprint race. How are as schools we preparing for that culture where we will say that it's okay, you got that, you figure out what your strengths were, you move on, move forward.
So we'll take the
I mean,
discussion forward.
when we were children, we never heard the word depression.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we were told, from our parents for things, told us, no, it's a no for you.
And no is a
Nowadays,
no.
parents don't say that. For them, they have not heard a no. So when they hear a no in school, that's why they're going to
A very
So
small
that-
point
I'll
that
quickly add on.
Wait, let's finish
Yes,
with the
after
introduction
this.
and then we'll come to the topic. Yes.
Yeah. Hi everyone, I'm Victoria D'Souza, principal of St. Xavier's High Secondary, a small school in Goa. It's a state-run school and very different from the normal setup. Our school is just 11th and 12th. So it's not a K-12 school, so we have just 11th and 12th. But it has a huge number. We are almost 1,800 in that 11th and 12th. It's a state board. And we have 70 to 80 students even in a class. Coming to the school setup, I agree with most of y'all. I somehow don't like that routine and traditional thing. So I've been in this almost 32 years in the teaching profession and as a principal for the last 17 years. From the teacher to the principal, I think I have grown and I'm still growing. And I have found a change in myself also, being a teacher to a principal. And being that, happy-go-lucky girl that I was always. And when you become principal, everybody looks at you, you have to do like this, do like that, walk like this, walk like that. That was against my rules and, my way. I said, forget what the rest of the world says. I'm going to be different. I just want to share a small experience. We just had Teachers' Day. So, as usual, in our school, we have that thing. Every event is organized by students. Okay, not the teachers. Let there be failures. Let something go wrong. Let something fall down. No problem. But it is the students who will organize everything. Maybe we give turns to students in the class. Maybe once it is the art stream, another event it's by the commerce stream. Now the Teachers' Day was celebrated by the council members, and they had cake cutting as usual. So they called a few of us to cut the cake. And after cutting the cake, normally you share the cake. So as I was sharing the cake, my fingers were full of cake, the icing of the cake. So normally what the students did, they brought tissue and they gave me. I said, no, I don't want the tissue. I'm going to lick my fingers. I'm going to lick my fingers. So they were all stunned. I said, why not? I want to be a kid now. I said, I'm going to lick my fingers. And I started licking my fingers. It was, the students were so excited and so amused that a principal is licking the finger. I said, I want to be just like a normal kid. I am not a principal here. I want to be like you. And I'm going to lick. They are like, ma'am, can we click photographs of you? I said, sure. I said, go ahead, click photographs. And then it was like, that connect with the students. That ma'am was so free and she did it so spontaneously that after that they said, ma'am, can we dance with you? I said, sure, I will come and dance with you. So, that created that they are like, we have seen a principal who is so, we always thought a principal is so strict and we are so scared to talk to the principal. But here we had someone who was so free and who was care a damn of who's looking at you and all. So they felt that connect.
So that's what we say. Like
Yeah.
I also said importance of connection.
Yes.
And importance of fearlessness.
Yes.
Like
And they
having
like,
a pre and
can we come to you anytime? That small incident, they said, can we come to you at any time? I said, sure. Say, you won't shout at us? I said, no, why not? No, another incident, if you can allow me, ma'am, to share. I mean, being a diocesan school, we have rules. You have to be on time, So at the entrance, if you're not on time, you get a remark. And we have 3 remarks, and you pay your fine or you are sent home. So, and the teachers normally shout at the students. So one day when I was standing there, as the teachers were shouting, there was a boy who was pulled up for being late constantly. I just went to that student. No doubt it was a boy. You're not allowed to touch and all. But I just touched him, put my hand around him. I said, what happened? Why you're late? And he just burst out crying. And he said, ma'am, you're hugging me? I said, yeah. I remembered my mother, he said. And I have lost my mother when I was just 2 years old. And I have just the memories of my mother. And it's only on photographs. And he said, that hug what you gave me reminded me of my mother. And he said, no one has ever asked me why I'm late. I do all my work at home, prepare my own breakfast, and I come. And you didn't even shout at me. And you just hugged me. Say, can I call you Ma? That made me cry. Sometimes we are so insensitive to students and we don't realize what they are going through. So I think, we have to come down to their level. Then you will be able to see a change in them.
Thank you,
That's
ma'am.
how
Thank
we
you
can
so
teach
much.
empathy to others.
Yes, yes.
That's what the teacher was modeling.
Thank you so much. So,
I'm Colonel Avinash Singh. I am leading Rajkumar College, one of the legacy schools, 40 odd year old. And we were a residential school initially, and 30 years back, it was open for part residential, part day scholars. We gone back to the residential part. That said, I have 22 years service with the forces and 19 years now as in the education. And there is a lot of commonality that I see between forces and because stress levels even in forces is very, very high. And you have to deal with the ground level people, people who are standing a post. And their stresses, one has to understand. Similarly, we have to understand the stresses which are going around in the children's minds these days. Our educationist problem has been greatly sort of increased by the age inappropriate content which is now reaching the students. And that is leading to a lot of anxiety and so-called mental wellness. Seventh, eighth classes, it's all the co-educational school. Seventh, eighth classes, now you feel that people are saying that I have a crush on so and so. Some parent will complain that this boy has been sending messages to my daughter. When you sort of confront the boy's parents, they'll give you a whole lot of things which the girl has said. Thing is that it's not a simple problem. It is not at all a simple problem because the complexity has been added by a lot of things which were not there when we were growing up. We do not speak the language what the students speak today. You see that British serial which had come, very famous one. Huh? No, no, no. This one, adolescents. Okay. So they have a different language. Now, sometimes the student leadership, what you talk about as SLT, so we have a very ingrained prefectorial system right from the junior school upwards. So we have to use interpreters within the students to understand what children are feeling.
Yeah.
And faculty is ingrained like in the army didactic. हम बताएंगे आप हमारी सुनो. That is the whole problem. We are not letting their voices reach us. And I keep telling people that you have to let go of this intense atmosphere. The convents I studied in convents, so hands on your lips, that kind of thing. Just let it go. And if you see, when the children join junior school, they are very creative. Everyone is thinking differently. By the time they are in 10th, 11th, 12th, सबको ठोक बजा के एक ही रास्ते पे हम लाना चाह रहे हैं. And career and career and career and career. I gave a very simple example. I said, you take out any grown up, you take out the list of your school where you were a student, and who came first, who came last. You take it out and see just today. You will find no correlation about how people have done. Look at me. I mean, I was never a good student. Luckily, I passed UPSC, joined the army. When I had to take an exam called Staff College, it's a very dreaded exam. One passed, one. I made a remark to my boss. I said, sir, mera lifetime ka ambition pura ho gaya. So he started laughing at me. So I thought he was jealous of me. So he says, Avinash, is this a lifetime ambition? Lifetime ambition is बच्चे अच्छे चले जाए, parents ठीक रहे, health ठीक रहे. So I was thinking, नहीं, he's jealous of me. 4 years later, I quit the army. So we have to understand that all these counselors and all these things, niyat अच्छी होनी चाहिए. You have to be a human being to deal with human beings. Period. And no counseling, nothing can teach you to be a human being. Your own empathy will be the one which will lead you to it. So if the children understand that you feel for them, they will never complain against you, even if you are strict. They know कि हाँ भाई ये हमारे साथ है. You look at the drill sergeants whom we have in the academies. They are portrayed in. They are actually vicious than that also. But the way they come and salute you when you pass out, I mean, that washes off everything. So empathy is a very, very important aspect in dealing with so-called mental health issues. And second is that we'll have to do something about this social media, this thing. It is very difficult in residential schools. We are still trying to but the problem is these are every day all competitions are online, virtual, and you have to let them be on that platform also, otherwise they'll be illiterate once they come out. It's a very, very complex problem. No ready solutions. Metros have their own problems. Smaller places have their own problems. The background of the child has another problem. Half of the people who are coming, they are getting educated for vocation. And half of the people who are coming, they are not bothered about what they are going to do because they are well looked after. So each child is special. Each child has to be each child has to be looked with a complete background. Whenever a discipline case comes to me, I go into the total background.
Yes.
One 11th class boy recently misbehaved and all. I went into the background. Mother has divorced and remarried.
Yes.
So many issues.
And when those parents came, so the present husband had come. So the present husband cribbed in front of us. बोले सब कुछ तो अपनी माँ को बताता, मेरे को कुछ नहीं बताता है. So that just was I said चलिए किसी को तो बताता है, उसको वो करते हैं. You could make out those pressures which are there. We have to identify.
So should I tell you one thing?
Ji.
Whatever we are doing in school, that is going home, and whatever is happening at home, is coming.
Yes, that's right, ma'am.
Yes, that's what exactly.
I got on this teacher's day, I got a very good note from a student where the student had made a bar graph and said that what you taught, I remember only this much, but how you treated me, how you understood me, and how you were listening to me, that goes high, and that's I remember.
Ma'am, a small example.
That is famous.
I'll finish off with a small example. I'm very fond of dogs, so I have 5 dogs, all big ones. And I have a large staff at home, all the big school. So there are the staff which comes, the reaction of the dogs tells it all.
Yes, you're right.
The reaction of the dog tells it all. एक आएगा तो पड़ा रहेगा ऐसे देखेगा and he'll not even look at him. He'll jump on him and this is that. I mean, people will feel offended if I gave this example, but a teacher is similar. When she walks in a class or he walks in a class, the reaction of the class will give it all.
Exactly.
And you must trust this buddy system and all which we have in the army. I have created in the school also. You must have buddy systems and things like that so that they can come and confide in you. Usko aisa aisa ho raha hai. This information has to be there. I have a khawas who's 76, but I still have him in the boarding house because he is my eyes and ears of coming and telling me, "Saab, aise chalo." So these are very small tricks of the trade. Like I said, it's not a simple problem. You have to devise your own manner as per the place where you are.
Thank you so much.
As you said, it is starting, the crush is starting from class 3 now.
I thought that.
And the best part of it is that parents are accepting it.
Yes.
Whether we accept it or not, the parents are accepting it.
According to me, there's no age for having a crush. It can be a toddler also can have a crush. So that's all fine.
Are you giving us hints, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. This is Dr. Sharma, Headmaster, Punjab Public School, Nava. Work and studies also in graduation school, like Delhi College, PPS Naba. Work at the university level also, teachers, scientists, sports, and even part of defense also, NCC officer, and a lot of things as adventurous activities. Trainer for teachers and students. Actually, what is happening because we are doing the patchwork. We means counselors, so-called counselors. First of all, social emotional well-being is fine. Everybody understands definition. First of all, we must understand the definition of health. Health includes social, emotional, and mental well-being, not just physical like bouncer type of body, but bouncer type body. That means mobile is good, but inside softwares are bad. So what is happening actually in the school system? Yes, I think many people they have spoken. I have nothing left. Okay. So nothing left because first thing that connect is very important.
Connect as per the situation and permission, social emotional connect. And we all must understand that what is adolescent education. Adolescent education program. A mother has no degree, but she is the best at social emotional learning. Even my mother right now also looking at the face, she will tell, "Bache, koi pareshani to nahi hai?" Now you understand that when we work in the boarding schools, especially house-masters, they are better than the top psychologists is considered also, because psychologists they study through the books and we deal with the behavior. Yes. No, now what is happening that connect means the children are not heard, and we are pouring unnecessary things in the mind, so-called brain, which are not required. So first, though, we should understand that what the requirement of child, and before dealing as well as understanding a child, first you go in the case history, because most of the children, those who have social emotional problems, they are coming from their families mainly. Directly you can tell. Now we must also understand that what is purpose of schooling. Purpose of schooling is not to produce the non-competent toppers, non-competent 100% scorers. We all must understand and make the system also understand, even this may parents, all stakeholders are required, they must understand the purpose of education. You see the defense system, because public schools have acquired all the things from the defense, Royal Military only. Now, so when we talk about the education, that means the child has a appropriate level of knowledge. Are we skilling? Then whatever life skills are there, I am not going to detail. And then values. If you go, please don't take in a political religious aspect. If you go in the yam and niyam, if we all understand those 5 yams, then attitude. So basic purpose is to produce the competent human resource, just like this is a competent machine and that's a competent biological machine. That how this machine is going to behave in different situations. So what is happening that since the beginning in the curriculum, here I'll add few lines because people think curriculum means the printed syllabus. It's not curriculum. Anything which is happening in the boundaries of the school, I'll say space of the school. Even world is also a class, forget about the classroom. So appropriate learning is taking place when I know that what is expected, what is required, there is no gap between the expectations, needs and others. So unrealistic expectations, if children are told through the competent people, and this aspect of health means physical, mental, social, emotional is integrated in the curriculum at all the level. All the level means starting from bus driver, mali, support staff, teachers. So these values should be integrated in the curriculum, like oxygen is present in the blood, air is present in the environment, nobody has seen, but impact is there. So communication and children should be heard properly. We have to be sympathetic. Same time, desire, stress is must. Because if you see what we do in the exercises, we have conditioning stress, limited level. And until unless we will not put the judicious stress, which is not going to harm, because without pressure, without stress, nothing can happen. But that stress, if we are healthy stress, productive stress, okay, so that gives the self motivation and handling of the children 99% time, rather handling students, we mishandle them. You don't do this, you don't do this, you are not like this. So first they must make sure that we are their well-wisher. What is required from the organization and what type of behavior is expected at all the situations with seniors and others. Then when we will reflect in the organization, like suppose a child is coming of any class, and we must understand that nursery students, then little more older, thereafter teenage, early teenage, late teenage, suppose class 12, their behavior change. If we don't understand the change of behavior, mother understand, dada understand, father or kaka does not understand. Okay. So they should be told how to behave, and we should also, like a corridor child is coming and he is going just crossing, even brushing, and but he is not greeting us. What happens that as a principal, so-called headmaster, we will say, "Oh, this child has not greeted." Suppose I greet a small child, That means all the things we have to demonstrate. I'll say, oh yes, how are you? Not looking well? Good morning. Oh, sorry, sir, I forgot. Okay, I'm fine. Same, whatever you want to expect. So somewhere handling is very, very important. Handling means caring. Caring attitude. The child should feel that somebody is there to care, not authoritative. Yes, okay, principal ke paas ja raha hu. My door is open. Even child comes. I'm telling one example. PPS Nava is basically that was the first Chinese school of India, and hardcore discipline is there. Hardcore means hardcore. I want means discipline should be within, not regimental discipline. Which is required in the Fauj and police. That's a different thing. Now, when I went there, so my working is totally different. My wife also supported. She's a professor, but children are free up to any time they can come to my place. Bhook lage hai, khana khana. They are sharing their problems also, family problems, mother and father. They are sharing so problems because nobody is able to hear.
Parents are not aware of those.
Listen them. So now I start working from the junior most classes. When headmaster car used to come, people used to be, oh, your headmaster. Headmaster was Italy, yeah. It's a bulldog has come. I know. I try to change this thing. Now when I reach there, almost I take 10 minutes to walk 10 meters. Why? Because all the younger children are best lovable children. A whole lot come just like monkeys. Okay, and now they touch feet also.
Yes.
Because I touch feet of the grandparent of child also. If somebody comes, I touch feet or I greet. But sir, headmaster ऐसा करेंगे? अरे भाई, teacher will not do, housemaster will not do, and thereafter headmaster has to do it. Yeah, if you want to transform this thing. Okay. So sometimes children say, sir, एक बार मम्मी पापा से आप बात करो, आप उनको समझाइए. So we have to somewhere inculcate, or we have to share some responsibility for right kind of parenting. Then regular meetings and induction sessions for the staff, because teachers have become just translator of the content. Okay, there is no emotional connect. You see children in the class and just you say, oh, good morning, hi, hello, how are you, like this, you are looking dull and like this. Oh, no, sir, okay. Personal connect is established. Not like this, I am going to open your this page and this, you khada, right? So personal connect, care, and counselors are the guides. Because the way somebody comes from outside, okay, a food given by the hotel and food prepared by the mother, totally different.
Thank you, sir. I think
so these things, I think so. We have to integrate all these things.
Yes.
So thank you, everybody. I think wonderful
I would
ideas.
say
I
that
am.
all of us are on the same page.
Same page.
Yes.
That's what. We all are on the same page.
We are doing the same thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so I am Vivek Gupta. I'm the principal at Bal Bhavan Public School, Mahivira Phase 2, Delhi. And I'm very happy to be here in the August forum with the stalwarts of the education industry. And thank you for your inputs. You know, what I wanted to highlight and put here is that there are a couple of points that I wanted to highlight. That when we talk about somebody's mental health or the confusion that is happening, the trauma, the social emotional disconnect, it's because of that confusion that is there between the families and the school. So once, you know, the schools and the families, they are on the same page, they share the vision with what we have to carry the children further, I think that is the first step to help the children, to provide them the aid. So that confusion is creating the rat race, because of which, you know, the children are running, ki hame scores chahiye, we want the best of the A grades and the hundreds and what not. And then we see them falling after completing their schooling, because then they are not able to find a job. They've got the scores, but they haven't got the skills. So we have to prepare the children for that as well. And I feel that when we talk about happy school, happy life, anything happy, it's all about empowerment. So we have to create that empowerment at our schools. Once we empower our children, accomplishment will come, satisfaction will come, and that happiness will automatically fall in place. And with that happiness, you know, you can get anything done with the children. You tell them that, you know, you are empowered, you can do this, and you see the transformation coming into the system. So you have to give them that, you have to make them the in charge of the entire thing. And once they see themselves that, okay, I have this authority to bring that change, आपसे better वो change लेके आएंगे school के अंदर, classroom के अंदर. So they have to be given that ownership. For this particular thing, I feel that there are a couple of aspects that I feel are missing currently at our schools and at our homes. The first thing is the sleeping pattern. sleeping pattern is something which is very, very important, which disturbs the entire routine. If you've not slept well, you may have slept for longer hours, but your sleep is not quality sleep, then definitely the child will not be happy in the classroom. So that is the first thing that we need to foster into our classrooms. Talk to the parents about it. Number two is about the physical fitness that ma'am was also talking about. Today the children are more glued to the screens, mobile phones, PS5 and whatnot. Everything is available to them because parents can afford it. They're providing it to the children without even thinking what is the objective of that particular luxury that we're providing to the child. Because when we were at school, my parents used to tell me that student's life is full of sacrifices, and the person who sacrifices at the student life will definitely lead a luxurious life later on. So we are forgetting to teach those simple values that probably our parents have taught us back into our times. We have cases of broken families, abuse, verbal abuse, domestic abuse, and even substance abuse in our families, and the children are suffering. We need to identify those cases, and until and unless we have identified those cases, we will not be able to provide them the aid. So, like Sir was saying, that every case is a unique case. I definitely reciprocate the same thing, and we have to handle each case with precision and identify where the things went wrong and correct it from the root, and not just do the patchwork as somebody was mentioning
Even
here.
same child is different in different situations.
Yes, absolutely.
Same
absolutely.
child and with different person.
Then another thing, the problem, the what we call it? The stability is not there in the children today because there is FOMO. Fear of missing out. Very, very important thing. They want to do everything. They want to try everything because this age is very adventurous. They're amused with little things. So they would want to try going to Netflix and watch what parents have told them not to watch. So, they would definitely want to go and try and sneak out the time to go and party with their friends as well, and maybe try some alcohol and smoke as well. But then we have to tell them that, yes, okay, you've tried it. What is it that you got after that? So once you have had that conversation with them, where you identify and make them realize that trying everything is okay, but making it a habit may cause, long-term defects, and we have to work on that area. Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
See now, you have to tell them that you have to face the consequences of your own actions.
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely.
before that, if they do anything, okay, you want to move around with friends.
Yes.
Now class 12 children, they go around and move with it.
Yes,
Our parents are okay
yes,
with that.
yes.
So you have to tell them that what the consequences will be.
Yes.
Now go ahead if you want to do so.
It's your life, it's your choice.
But it's a harsh reality today that what we used to do while in college or this thing, today it's being done at the school level. You can't wish away the
And
problem.
that's the reason we are discussing about mental health.
Yes.
Because things
Even
have.
the parents say,
Yes, yes.
okay, ma'am, बाहर जा चुकी है, घर में बैठ के
No,
friends के साथ
सब पी रहे हैं, yes,
I
exactly.
was shocked to hear that from class 12 parents.
Yes.
I said, and the very good family and all that. I was surprised and shocked. I said, times are changing. We have to change our.
No, actually,
That's the crux of the whole
So
thing.
it's basically, the parents are transferring their anxieties, their stresses onto the children. They are passing it to the children.
May I add
And
something?
when we say the examinations, I have encountered a number of times. Parents will come back and tell us that the question paper was very difficult. Your teachers giving so much homework to the children. They do not have enough time to complete the homework. But see, if the homework is being given, what was the duration that was given to complete the work? Was it that today homework was given, it was asked next day itself? Or the teachers given the time for research and then come back and then submit the work? So parents are missing out on those aspects as well.
They are working for 7 hours. And then they go back. If you ask your parents what do they do in the evening, tuition.
Tuition, yes.
Why they are coming to school then for 7 hours?
More than see, all these problems are also cropping up from the
That is
thing
also one of
that
the
they don't
reasons.
have a
Desires.
routine. They don't.
It's very interesting because when we involve children in decision making,
Yes.
policies of the school as well as family, procedure and routine.
Yes.
So what will happen that they understand what are the do's, what are the don'ts.
Accountability comes in.
Right?
You know where I wanted to.
Ma'am, just let me complete. And thereafter, I'll give one example. My son was studying in Delhi College. And people are coming from business class. But we know that what are our values, they should understand. So what happened? One day the party was there and he told, Papa, I was also there. वो उस टाइम वो हुक्का चलता था वो कुछ कर रहा था मैंने कहा बच्चे यार we are like this but this is not good that was harmless but even then पापा should I try marriage था family था It's up to you. But therefore, the moment he took one puff, Papa, it's very bad. Right? I will not take this thing. So first thing, do's and don'ts, involve them in procedures and tell the consequences that if you do this, you will end up there. And if you want to go that destination, you have to follow this track. So AEP is very, very important. That was given by UNA long back. Plus, हम लोग समझ नहीं रहे जो यम नियम, truthfulness, non-possessiveness, celibacy, other things, and over-possessiveness, these things should be integrated in the beginning. If this mobile is lying, read integrity, man of integrity. Yesterday I was listening Air Chief Marshal. He was in this OTA. So he told that first we should understand we are human beings. Thereafter we are citizens. And thereafter we are professional, means soldiers. So first, whatever values of humans are required, they should be integrated in the system which we talk. Resource persons comes, trainers comes, and other people come, guest lectures come. Nothing is going to happen from the external things. Everything happens from the same system, same body. Yes, ma'am.
If we take, I'll come
Yes,
to
ma'am.
you. I'll come to you. See, we are discussing a lot about what's happening in our schools. Now, if we want, and we all spoke about how students want to be heard, how we need to have an open relation with them in the sense that understanding them, giving them a free environment to talk. So if anyone can share, Vivid, I'll start from you, that how do you think that student giving empowerment, you spoke about student empowerment.
Yes.
So any good practice in your
Yes.
school which you are doing, which is empowering them to be with respect to mental health
So
and
yes,
well-being?
I'll share that. I in fact wanted to share two of them. So what we do, there are two practices that is very integral to our system. Number one is SWOT analysis. So whenever we talk about the mental health, it's the analysis. You have to know your own self. So self-awareness is something which is very important. So once the child know what is it that I have, the strengths, the weaknesses, the threats, and the opportunities I have with me, and how can I regulate them, I think that is the overall idea of my being the self. And then the second thing that we have recently incorporated in our system is the vibe break. It's a 10 minutes vibe break that we have incorporated in between the day. And why this 10 minutes of vibe break is needed is that we want to bring the children back to the moment. Vibe break is a yoga break. It's a chair yoga that they perform in the classroom. So we have curated 10 videos that are played on the digiboards, and every student, the entire school will perform the vibe break together at the same time, just to bring everybody into the moment, give them that moment where they can reflect on what they are doing since morning. So we have morning assembly every day at the beginning of the day, where the children are praying to the Almighty, listening to the thoughts, and also doing the positive affirmations as highlighted by CBSE. So that has been incorporated into the system because we want to tell the children about what they have, what they hold within themselves, identify that. If they've identified what is their potential, they will be automatically able to enlarge it and spread it further. So I think these are the small practices, and of course, physical activities and sports and the counselors and the student council, everything is in place. I think that's very common to all of us. But these are the two specific things that I wanted to highlight.
Thank you so much. Ms. Agarwal, if you can share your best practices in...
People used to ask me that, what is it that you do with him that he becomes smart? So maybe he was 4 years old. So I said that, ye dhool mitti mein khelta hai. I give him a pile of leaves, I give him matti, I make his cars dirty, those little ones, and give him a bowl and let him scrub. And I could almost sense them thinking that, yeah, right, she doesn't want to share, so why come up? But genuinely, I had read so many books, but the one thing which stuck with me is allow children to play in a safe space where you don't have to say no to them constantly. And that's what we've tried to do at school. In a very simple way, like when our, suppose the entire junior KG goes out to play, it's 120 kids at one time. We have teachers at different places. There's the jungle gym, the slides, the sandpit, the cycles, the balls and bats or whatever it is. Kids are allowed to move around freely. They are allowed to play without direction, which is again something talked about downstairs. Similarly, we have designed these rooms called the hopscotch rooms, where we have reading, blocks, role play, just so many different types of things across rooms. And when an entire class comes for that, they can do whatever they want. I told the teachers, if a child takes out the blocks every day for the whole year
and doesn't do anything else, it's fine. Because these things build, there is a mental stability and emotional, just that thayapan which we call, which comes from a very early age. If you see a child at 5 who is emotionally stable, chances are at 15 he or she will also be emotionally stable. So actually we are trying to attack it when it's already too late. We have to start much earlier. So,
Thank you.
And
so
just to
much.
add on, ma'am, we are
Yes,
working
yes.
in the reverse gear system, so I think students needs to be the co-owners and co-creators.
Yes.
And the school should be led by the student, and they should not feel that school has been made for them. They have to build in the school.
The school
It
is
is very
for them
important,
and
yeah.
by them. So, Mr. Basu, if I may ask you that despite the progress which we have made in this, there is still a lot of stigma around mental health. So, how do you normalize it in your school? What best practices are there to normalize it and to say that it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to be unhappy, and how to be resilient and how to come back or how to bounce back?
First is the term that counselor should be changed.
yes.
Be some positive word.
Yes. We call it the lighthouse at our school.
You can say communicator. You can go and communicate with them. So this counselor word just stuck there. So first I feel that it should be changed to some positive word such as you can say communicator or something like that. That is what we are.
Mr. Basu, can we hear from you? Yes.
Oh,
It's not very
I think I've picked up something. I think I don't think changing words will actually change. I'll be very honest. Will change it. You need to have a school-wide approach of dealing with it more comprehensively. So when you are talking about empathy, are we all feeling for everyone? Are the kids? Let's go to the basics and simplest terms. That are we connecting with every child? That connection and communication we need for us to understand. They will come and tell you. We have a pastoral network. We have adults who are mapped to children across the school. There are one-to-one sessions which they do to just understand how they are doing as an individual. We also do peer mapping what he was talking. And both of these ensures that what our friend from Rajkumar College was saying is that you need to figure out what is it that works in your school. So when you have these multiple networks where you have teachers, where the children can come and talk, where there are peers who can come and talk, where there are pastoral leaders who can come and talk, you're not going to miss anything. It's all about not missing the red flag. In terms of well-being, you have to be concerned that are you missing a red flag case? That there is a child who is really struggling, but they do not know how to connect, how to tell someone, how to confide in someone. Are we missing that? And that should be the point one agenda of every school. You can call what you want to call for a position. I feel that every teacher has a role of a pastoral leader.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every single teacher.
Yes.
It cannot be only the job of a counselor. I don't think counselors are psychiatrists because they have no roles, that type of a role in schools. There are, limitations to what they can do, what they cannot. And in most cases, I 200% agree. There is a family issue which is actually because marital discord is the most common thing today that we can see. Or, parents who are not on the same page. Or there are people who are, in different cities. So it's like one parent is on one place, another parent is on another. But basically, it's when it's a non-functional family that it's all leading and connecting to all these issues. We need to get to the bottom of every problem. And to get to the bottom of every problem, we need to understand the problem. To understand the problem, the channels of communication. How is the information coming?
I may just add to this.
One last question I have. Okay. Okay.
I just wanted to add to this part what we're talking about connecting to the kids. So there's one practice which we do. It just struck me just now. We have the system of home visits.
Yes.
Haldwani is a small place, 40 kilometers is the maximum thing. So every class teacher, along with one subject teacher, every session, they go to the house of the child. They take appointment from the parents. If the parent wants it, then we go. We don't speak about the academic of the child or anything. We just visit the child in the home environment, meet the dada dadi, because these are all joint families. From where I come, more of joint families are there. So dada dadi, nana nani, they want to meet the teachers who are teaching their kids and all. And we've come to know so much through it because the teacher then comes back and she puts in a report as to what she saw. So, you know, cases like divorce in the family or single parent or the child is managing things or the grandparents are actually spoiling the kid, pampering the kid. So everything has come into the forefront and that's really helped us to understand the child and then handle the child. So home visits have been really good.
Add last one line. There's a
And
term KYC.
teachers too,
Yes.
teachers
There's a term
go.
KYC.
Know your children.
And I always say in the training sessions, KYC for us, know your child.
And
Know your child.
and you know these kids are so excited. The parents tell us, आज इन्होंने पूरा अपना room clean कर रखा है because you know you are coming or a cake has been baked for them. So and dinner and lunch, like they are literally so happy and parents appreciate it. Home visit.
This discussion what has come to it.
Knowing
The child is very
you should have a very robust kind of a system. We have in our school adolescent health program where our children of higher classes, they have been given responsibility, but these children don't know why they are going to different classes and they find out the concern area, then we work on that.
They get better information.
Yes,
without
they
any
get
negative.
more
Yes, they can share so lot
Yeah.
with this.
And another thing I feel that inside the school, you have to keep your children occupied.
Yes,
That
yes.
is very,
Engage,
very, very
engage.
important.
Yes. So no, what has come out of this discussion is that one counselor is not enough. Every teacher needs to be involved, needs to be a good listener. And good listener.
Very important. The only problem is teacher is a good listener. Teacher must be holistically developed. They can handle all the situations.
Once you listen
And those
to the child,
teachers also
even if
need
you
the
don't have
counseling
to
sometimes
yes.
from the
Sometimes
leadership team.
teachers
most
also
of the
needs.
time.
Teachers
See, I
also
will
need
tell
that.
you, even if you listen to the child and you don't have solution, but you have listened to the child,
Yes,
that's not
because,
enough. Next day he will not come out with something.
Yes, the problem you share it, you feel better.
That is what
Even
is
the parents, in fact, as teachers, it should begin in your home first.
Issues
against the school, you just
So,
listen to them, you're not giving
I
out
think
problem.
we are running short of time. I'll just share the
People
last
have gone
one.
on and on.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a
one
never
topic.
ending.
I feel this is one topic which cannot be finished in an hour's discussion.
Yes.
So I'll just share a small activity which we do in our school. We have a lot of societies for classes 11 and 12 students. We have introduced societies. So, and every student compulsorily needs to be part of one or the other society, which includes from theatre to drama to eco club and
We also have.
Now there is one society there which is called as the Active Minds Society. So now this particular society looks after activities for students to engage them in productive work in school, and our counselor has trained students, so that is empowering students. So trained students to be good listeners and to look for red flags in the classroom. Every classroom from classes 6 onwards have 2 active mind ambassadors in the class who come and tell the buddy system which Sir was talking about. So they come and tell the counselor, so and so is not feeling too good in the class. We need to pay a little attention to that particular student. At times, they go to their seniors, the main active class 11 and 12 psychology students. And also we have a helpline number in which we have engaged our ex-students who are studying psychology in university. Because most of the time we found that students want to connect with someone at 2:30 a.m. because they sleep only by 2:33. So they want to connect with the counselor at that time. This is all the Active Mind Society came and told us. So now we have a helpline number, a 24/7 helpline number, because those students of universities and who are in university college, they are available at that time. they get a lot of call from our student. I had a breakup with so and so, so I'm feeling
Those are
sad,
common.
I'm depressed, and then they explain what's the difference between being sad and being depressed. There's a big difference between being
I have
sad.
a crush.
So these are, yes, these are all small issues which are there, but yes, we need to be vigilant, we need to keep our eyes, ears open, we need to be approachable, we need to be good listeners, and if we do all this, I think we'll be able to create an environment where the word depression will go out of the window. That's what I hope. There can be some cases
Systematically, there is no depression at all.
And they will
Yes.
understand the true
Like
meaning.
very well
True
said.
meaning. We need to explain
Half the
the true
problems are
meaning.
going away, will go away in case we keep the children engaged in gainful activities.
Productive work,
Yes,
productive.
exactly. Productive.
What you had said, man ke haare haar hai, man ke jeete jeet. Right? So, like, from that, be successful to become happy.
Yeah.
Better if the
Happy
reverse,
happy
be
means
happy to
Yeah.
become
stress-free.
successful.
Not giggling, howling, shouting. Happy means
So
stress-free.
now
Yes.
when I conclude, then I have to give a summary. So I'm going to talk about fearlessness in the environment, having a free environment where students can share whatever they want to, giving them a listening ear and understanding them, empathizing with them, bridging the gap between the parent and the school so that we are all on the same page, we talk the same language, the child is not confused. Anything else?
Allowing them to be
knowing the child. KYC, I talk about KYC.
Yeah.
Caring and hand-holding.
Caring and
caring.
handholding.
Nothing.
And allowing them, that freedom to be express, be themselves.
And the
In
faculty
the
should
whatever
climb down from its
situation.
high horse
Yes.
and become student centric instead of saying,
Yes.
I'll tell you what
Yes.
to be done.
Competent faculty.
So don't expect conformism from students. Rather say that, okay, even if you do it, like I give
Reaffirmation.
example of the Google Maps. If you are going, you want to go from A to B. If you take a wrong turn, Google never says that you are wrong.
Yes.
It says we are rerouting and will take you back to the destination.
We have,
That is what our
we have
teachers
to
need
drive
to
our
do.
vehicle according to the condition of road.
Road,
Road will
yes.
not change according to
Yes.
conditions, right? So
Very
we have
true.
to see.
And we have to understand our children first.
Yes.
If you can understand your children, then definitely,
KYC.
I would just last to end with,
Preparing them for failure.
just to end with, I have a son born after 14 years. So there's a 14 years difference between my daughter and son. So when I look at my daughter, a millennial child, and I look at a Gen Z, there's so much of difference. So I couldn't act the same way like the millennial, like I did with my daughter. So I had to change according to Gen Z. So I think, we should also change along with them. But the change should be in a good direction and in a positive direction.
Yes.
That's a failure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
confidence
everyone. I'll try to summarize, and if I miss anything, please pitch in and join.
One of the things which normally most of the teachers are missing today, faculty, is a sense of humor and laugh at each other.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to have a good sense of humor to keep your class occupied,
Yes.
otherwise you will be a boorish kind of a
Yeah.
guy going there.
That's what communication skills.
If something happens in that class, not to shout at the students. But
You will go with a straight face, stand
Stand,
in front of the children, and now I'm going to deliver my lesson. It does not
believe
work.
that if
Very good
if
point.
we are stressed now, you go to the junior most class.
That is stress buster.
And horses for courses, you different children, different. When you command 6 cordon, Sadaj cordon, so my boss called me and he said, "Have you ever commanded 6?" I said, "No, sir." He says, "Please remember one thing: if you don't keep them busy, they'll keep you busy." So you have to be very aware कि भाई जनता कैसी है उसके हिसाब से चलो.
Teacher should understand child behavior.
और उनसे 2 गाली दे के बात ना करो तो कहेंगे साहब माड़ा है. He is not what he knows more because he is from PPS.
And that is also non-Sikh headmaster of the Sikh community.
तो साहब तू माड़ा है.
Thank you,
So
everyone.
can we have a group photo for our
Yes.
WhatsApp group at least?
Wonderful session. Very
Yes.
Wonderful. Very
I think we could continue the whole day and it would still.
Thank you so much. May I request all the panelists to please come on stage? A very good afternoon to everyone. And congratulations first to all the award winners. Can we hear a big round of applause for all the prize winners and all the award winners? We are still waiting for... We can start? Okay.
Yes, sir is also here. I think Meena ma'am has already left. Okay, let's not wait or waste more time. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this roundtable discussion, the discussion which we had. The emphasis is on changing the narrative on mental health. This theme aims to raise awareness about the importance of reducing stigma and encouraging open conversation. Changing the narrative on mental health and well being is about transforming how we perceive this complex issue and shifting from a culture of silence and stigma to one of openness, understanding, and support. The theme also emphasizes the need to prioritize mental health and well being in policy making, calling for government action. Changing the narrative requires advocating for policies that prioritizes mental health, increases access to care, and provides support for those in need. We are privileged to have an eminent panel with us today, leaders who bring a wealth of experience from diverse institutions across the country. May I take the opportunity to introduce each one of them? We are privileged to have with us Mrs. Meena Kak, who's not here. She's the director, Lakshmi Singhania School, Kolkata. Lieutenant Colonel Avinash Singh, not here with us right now. Principal Rajkumar College, Raipur. Mrs. Geeta Devi, Director, National Center of Excellence, Bengaluru. Ms. Madhvi Agarwal, Cygnus School, Vadodara. She's also, is Madhvi here? No, she's not here. Mr. Abhimanyu Basu, he's also not, he was very unwell, I think. He's also not here. He's Dean and CEO of Dhirubhai Ambani International School, Mumbai. Mr. Vivid Gupta, Principal, Bal Bhavan Public School, New Delhi. Ms. Ranjana Shahi, Principal, Delhi Public School, Haldwani. Mr. Rajesh Soni, Headmaster, Junior School, Mayo College, Ajmer. Mrs. Victoria Sangeeta D'Souza, Principal, St. Xavier's Higher Secondary School, Mapusa. Ms. Munmun Sen Gupta, DPS, Varanasi. Over the course of our discussion, we explored 4 key dimensions: physical well being, nurturing healthy lifestyle choices; mental and emotional well being, equipping students to manage stress and build resilience; social well being, empowering student leaders to create a culture of empathy and care; and institutional support, ensuring schools provide the structure for these ambassadors to truly thrive. The key takeaways from the session are that the schools should be happy places where students can communicate fearlessly, not being judged, and are heard. Teachers need to be approachable and should be able to guide students through their failures, teach them there are bright days, so there can be clouds, and they are also good. We need to keep our students engaged at all the time so that their IQ, EQ, and SQ is taken care of. Understand your students and normalize the talk on mental health and well being as we talk about cold, cough, and fever. Bridge the gap between families and the school. We need to talk the same language, that the students are not confused. And most importantly, very important, to add humor in our classrooms so that we are able to connect with our students well. Finally, as we prepare our students for an uncertain and rapidly changing future, skills like empathy, resilience, social emotional intelligence become just as vital as academics. So I would like to close this with the forward-looking thought that empathy and social emotional learning plays a very important role in making our students truly future ready. As we come to the close, I am struck by the richness of the perspective shared today. What unites all of us is simple yet powerful truth that students are not just the future, they are the present catalyst of change. We have reflected on how schools can nurture healthier habits, create safe spaces for emotional well being, and empower students to take the lead in shaping a culture of care and balance. The role of educator and institutions, as we heard, is to provide the right guidance, opportunities, and support so that leadership becomes authentic and impactful. Our key takeaways is clear. When students become ambassadors of health and well-being, the ripple effect extends beyond classrooms into families, communities, and societies at large. On behalf of everyone here, I extend my gratitude to our distinguished panelists for their valuable insight and to all participants for being part of this important dialogue. Let us leave today with the commitment to not just talk about well-being, but to live it, model it, and enable our students to champion it. Because in doing so, we prepare not only healthier individuals, but also a stronger and more compassionate world. Thank you so much. It was indeed a very fruitful discussion. We felt that the discussion should have continued, but there was a time constraint and we were called back. But it was really a pleasure to discuss the issues with you, and thank you very much for being part of this discussion. Thank you everyone for listening to us. Thank you.
Let us felicitate them with a huge round of applause, all our dignitaries of Roundtable, the expert panelists. Lovely time for reunion, as I can see the photographs. Thank you so much. Immense thanks.